Hey, I want to welcome you to Wednesday's edition of Journey Through the Gospels, and today we are in Mark chapter 14. We see a scene that is right before Jesus is arrested and crucified. We find Jesus, who has taken some of his disciples, Peter, James, and John, his inner circle, and taken them with him to go into the Garden of Gethsemane to pray. And so Peter, James, and John are in one place, and Jesus walks a little distance away from them to pray by himself. And he prays this in verse 35, going a little farther, he fell to the ground and prayed that if possible the hour might pass from him. Abba, Father, he said, everything is possible for you. Take this cup from me, yet not what I will, but what you will. If it is possible, take this cup from me. What is Jesus saying? He's essentially saying, if there is any other way to do this, Father, please do it. I mean, remember that Jesus, he is the Son of God. He knows what's coming up. He knows what's ahead of him. He's been telling the disciples that what he was getting ready to do. He knew, and so we find him in those moments before, leading up to this, saying, if it's possible, take this cup from me. Now we have to remember and try to comprehend what Jesus is feeling, the weight of it. I mean, obviously he's thinking about the coming physical pain that he's going to endure. I mean, the crown of thorns, the whipping and the beating, the nails through his wrists and ankles and hanging on a cross. I mean, excruciating pain, yes, but also the weight of sin, because the weight of the sin of the world is going to be placed upon him, and his Father was going to forsake him. I mean, that's the weight that Jesus is feeling at this moment. So much weight that one of the gospel writers says that he was sweating drops of blood. I mean, a lot of weight upon him. And so he says, if it's possible, take this cup from me. But then he finishes it by saying, yet not what I will, but what you will. He says, if there's any other way to do this, please do it, but not my will, but your will be done. In other words, I wish there was another way, but I'm going to do it your way, Father. He would continue on with his Father's plan no matter what. Why? Because we should all understand that the Father's plans and his ways are always best, even if we don't understand them. Even if we don't fully understand why. And so Jesus, obviously, he goes through with the plan. He continues on and ends up being victorious. The writer of Hebrews says, for the joy set before him that he endured the cross. But what's the takeaway for us? A couple of thoughts, I think, as we look at this. One is that it's okay for us to ask questions to God. I mean, the Son of God is asking his Father, Lord, if it be your will, take this cup from me. I mean, the Son of God is asking his Father in heaven, if there's any other way, do it. That it's okay for us to ask questions to God. It's okay for us to say, Lord, why is this happening? Lord, why did you allow this? Lord, why? It's okay for us to ask him those questions. He's not going to get upset. He is a big God. I think he can take it. The second thing is that God's way is always the best way, even if we don't understand it. Even if we don't understand the why, it's always best for us to simply trust God. Simply trust that his way is the best way, no matter what our situation is in life, that we trust him. And that's going to do it for today. Tomorrow we're going to be in Mark chapter 15. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow.